couple days ago, maybe two or three, we had 25th anniversary of Diablo 2. Diablo 2 was published in 2000 in July, and we have July in June 2020 2000 was published Diablo 2, and right now we have 2025, so it's 25th anniversary of this marvelous game, and it is I think it's still the best hack and slash game of all games and of all times. For example, when remake edition called Diablo 2 Resurrected was published in 2021, I'm still playing it. In some days longer, in some days shorter, but I'm still playing it. It was a great improvement to Diablo 2 because the graphic is beautifully created. I would not afraid to say that it is the beautifulest hack and slash I have ever seen. I didn't play Grim Dawn, but I played really all Torchlight, almost all expansions of Titan Quest, Warhammer 40k, something. So I have played many hack and slashes, and I'm still on of course Diablo 3, Diablo 4 also, and I think even Diablo Resurrected, Diablo Immortal. I still think Diablo 2 Resurrected is the best looking and the best hack and slash game still. I would say that right now I think the only game who can beat it is a remake of Diablo 1. So this is the only game which I think should compete with this one. But on this 25th anniversary of Diablo 2, and then later on, of course, a very famous expansion, Lord of Destruction, was published. So right now players are playing Diablo 2 Resurrected. It's not very famous, or there are not many players. It's like maybe 50,000 or something like that. But this is consequently, like for example StarCraft 1 in Korea, in South Korea. And we had a Twitter. Generally, Mr. Lama did a YouTube movie about this topic, and I heard it, and I think I will tell this story also. So Mr. Lama told us that there was a Twitter, very famous tweet by Blizzard, and also some focused groups are gathering in Australia. So he called his movie "Are We Having an Act 6 of Diablo 2?" Of course, in Diablo 2 we have right now we already have 5 acts, but the tweet said almost exclusively, not explicitly, that it's not the end of Diablo 2 Resurrected, because we have some new rune words, some very useful like Mosaic. Some say that it's a very overpowered rune word. We have a very interesting Helm Cure, very famous to mercenaries. For example, one of my mercenaries is using it right now. It's very expensive because it's on ladder, and I'm playing non-ladder. But this rune world is still on only ladder only. And we also have very famous rune words like Plague, which can be cast in swords. We have Hassle, the first, no, maybe not the first, but rare example of weapon with Fanatism aura in sword, because we have Beast, and Beast was only possible to do in Axes and in Scepters and so on, no swords. We also had a new rune word, Mist, for uh, for uh, for an Amazon with concentration aura. I still think that Pride is better because it has 20 level of aura, not 12 like Hustle, but like Mist. But still, there are new runes, and some of them are really useful. And for example, I use many of my mercenaries, maybe not many, but some are using. Oh my God, the new rune world, which gives aura to protect us from fire damage. Smoke, maybe it's called smoke. So we see that, and of course the most famous change to add thunder charms, because in the earliest games of Diablo 2, the strongest characters of Diablo 2 are of course elemental fighting and casting characters, so characters who cast spells and also who use elemental damage, so like fire damage, cold damage, lightning damage. But on the hardest difficulty of Diablo 2, some monsters were immune or on one of these elementals of elements or even more, and Thunder Charms changed that, so we are not only focused on Infinity Ward, which was used on our mercenary to disable these immunities and kill them fast and efficiently. Right now we have Thunder Charms, so it's the biggest change to Diablo 2 Diablo 2 world. But from this tweet, we see that maybe there is a chance to have Act 6 or maybe a new expansion. I'm not sure how many players are playing in Diablo 3 and Diablo 4, and I'm almost sure that Diablo Immortal is the most famous because it's free to play and it's also on mobile phones. But I would still say that Diablo 2 Resurrected is the best game. Even I think more players are playing Diablo 4 and Diablo Immortal. Diablo 2 Resurrected is still the best. I'm still playing it after a very long period of break because Diablo 2 was too old to play, and now we have Diablo 2 Resurrected with shared stash, with characters which can storage our unique and very and rare and magical expensive items. Diablo 2 Resurrected is really good game. It has beautiful animations, beautiful style of fighting. I think it's still even better than Path of Exile 2. I didn't play Path of Exile 2, but I saw beta playings, and I still think that Diablo 2 Resurrected looks better. I'm not sure of this. Of course, I will be sure if I will play it in the future. So I think that there is hope to changes in Diablo 2, some of them necessary. For example, characters which use physical abilities, so abilities who attack physically, not elementally, but also who use elemental damage, but in not our way. So, for example, fighting only with one, two, or three monsters, because right now Ziller paladins, druids with Wolverine skills, and all melee characters except Amazon using strafe, they are significantly weaker and harder to play than all elemental damage characters. So for example, my main damage and my main farming character is a sorcerer with of course lightning damage, because it's still the strongest sorcerer, and strafe Amazon using a very powerful bow, very useful ability, also improved in Diablo 2 Resurrected Strafe. So these are my two main damage dealing characters. And of course there is also Hammerdin. I didn't like Hammerdin, but it's still the I would say that sorcerer, lightning sorceress, sometimes using Nova, sometimes using lightning, and hammered in paladin using hammers are still the most famous, the most popular builds in Diablo 2 Resurrected, and it's good. But all melee characters, for example, all barbarians, most of the builds of druids, and even other classes like Amazons, because for example Mosaic can be overpowered, but still it's elemental type damage rune word, and all of those, for example, assassins using kicks to kill monsters are far worse than those using elemental damage. So I think they should focus on improving melee characters, melee physical damaging characters, but still making another expansion, for example, for only those characters who are about maybe 90 level, because all of those who are playing Diablo 2 know that the max level of Diablo 2 is 90, but from 19th level till 1990 it's it's almost like being in purgatory for your sins here in Earth. So it's very difficult to level up above 19th level, and I think this new, for example, act or new expansion should focus on a high level characters with many unique rune words. The best rune words are the best unique items. Not only changing or making rune words, but I think that they should create a new content. They should create a new content, and I'm looking for it. I'm looking even to create more characters, because right now max level max characters are 25, and I would still create 10 more just to storage my gear. But also I would buy another stashes of for my gear, even if I had to pay for them, because for me. I would say that Diablo 2, maybe except Guild Wars 1, is the most played game ever for me in a way of playing per hour. So for me, it's still very good game. Very sometimes it's even like a gambling, because for example in Diablo 2 you don't have an action house, so every game you create, you should create with a title to sell something or to want to buy something. And for example, often I'm just seeing different games just to buy or sell something. It's very unique. It's kind of acute, of course, maybe also tiring, because you for example in World of Warcraft, when I'm playing from time to time, or Lost Ark, you have auction house, you put an item on an auction, and that's it. Here it's more complicated, but also more interesting and more gambling, like accepting reward friendly to some extent. So I would say that Diablo 2 should have a new expansion or new content, even if it was paid. Because guys, for example, right now I'm playing with my brother in Lost Ark, but high-end content in Lost Ark are raids. So they are very complicated dungeons, raids, and these raids are insanely difficult. Insanely difficult. They are too difficult to play. The Lost Ark is, for example, for me the first game which is so difficult that even though I have played 600 hours in this game, I just lost my interest in it, because raids are the only thing right now which is worth doing in Lost Ark. They are very interesting. They are very impressively good looking, but they are insanely difficult because they have mechanics, and your gear, your gems, your set cards, your tripods. all other mechanics, even if you max all of them out. You have a character, you maxed it completely, and it's very difficult to max all those things. It's still not very helpful in raids, because in raids the most important part is to understand mechanics, and most of them, for example, raids are usually 3 2 gates, and each gate has like 5 mechanics, 4 3 to 5 mechanics, and almost each of these mechanics are very dangerous. So it can be a complete wipe of all players, or a killing of one or even more players just at the beginning of the raid, just at the beginning of gate one of the raid. And they are really difficult to understand, and they are also difficult to be good at, to do them. So you need to, for example, do some rides 100 times to understand the mechanics and to do them. So for me, it's too difficult. I'm playing it just casually right now in Lost Ark, even though they have put a new patch which created a way to resurrect one time in each gate. I think it's still too difficult for me, still too tiring. It's almost like doing a chore every time you enter a ride. So for example, for me, Diablo 2 is much more friendly, uh, and friendly and interesting in this part, of course. But I think we need a new content to Diablo 2. Even it is not the most popular Diablo game from Diablo franchise. I think it's still by far the best. Let me know in the comments, and of course watch Mr. Lama movie about this topic. He's focusing on this group in Australia, and what can it mean to us players playing Diablo 2 Resurrected. And let me know in the comments, what do you think about Diablo 2 Resurrected? Should it have new rune words, new items, new unique items, or rather completely new act, or even a completely new expansion? I'm favored to create a unique, complete new, even paying to expansion, because for example, I paid for expansion to Diablo 3. It was an okay game for some time, but in long run, Diablo 2 Resurrected is still far better than Diablo 3, Diablo Immortal, and Diablo 4. I would say the only game from this franchise which can be as good as Diablo 2 is Diablo 1, but it should have complete remake like Diablo 2 had to be Diablo 2 Resurrected. So we should have a new Diablo 1 Resurrected, I think. But I think more important is not Diablo 1 Resurrected, but rather giving us new expansion to Diablo 2. It would also help to improve the count of players playing in Diablo 2, because to some extent it's a little bit dead game right now. So it needs a new content, and the best content would be a new expansion. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about these issues.